going to be doing the news. Mayhem Miller is where you go. Twitter, Instagram as well. All right, what do you got for the news?
Well, this one was hand-selected, I believe, for me. Donald Trump proposes migrant versus American cage fighting match. Donald Trump has proposed that migrants should take on Americans in a cage fighting tournament.
Well, he already took all those kids and put them in cages, right? You could just keep... Remember when AOC went down there to cry?
Oh, yeah.
She doesn't seem as concerned. The two people that cared the most about kids in cages were J-Lo, as I learned from her halftime preparation.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Her whole thing was about... I saw a whole doc about it. She was all into the kids in cages, and then AOC was into the kids in cages. But that was like 5 years ago, and now we got more kids in cages, and those bitches don't give a shit. So it makes me wonder, but maybe it's the kind of thing you like Pokemon. Like you just lose, like your kid gets older, and they used to be into kids in the cages, but now they're into going to Japan.
Now they're grown up.
Yeah.
They're on construction sites.
That's right. With the same Mexicans.
The former president floated the idea in a speech to Christian conservatives and again at a rally in Philadelphia on Saturday night. Trump recalled a conversation he had with his friend Dana White.
Well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So they used to have a lot of wrestling matches where the loser leaves town.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah.
You don't remember that, but it was like a lot of like loser leaves town.
Yep.
But they're always in shitty towns. So it's like, you know,
wanna leave.
let's just say you and I wrestled in Pacoima.
Yeah.
And then
I would
the
throw
loser,
that match.
I would fucking lay down and let you pin me.
No way. I would be on the floor before you, bud.
That's the whole point. What if you wanted to leave town? But the loser should have to leave the country.
Yeah, that's what I thought he was. That's what I thought he was saying.
Yeah. Oh, we have the video. Sorry, Ray. I made a funny video of J-Lo. J-Lo talking about how concerned. It's just like 5 years ago. She's doing the halftime show, and she was very concerned about the kids in cages.
The cages. The image of the cages for me, like I couldn't believe what I was watching. There's just certain things as a human being you don't do. What is my message?
It's her shaking her caboose. That's her message.
This is a dark subject matter, but if we can get the message across in a beautiful way, where it's soft and it can be received,
4 years
then
ago.
maybe more people get the message.
She's just shaking her ass.
I'm trying to give you something with substance. Not just us out there shaking our fucking asses and fucking belly dancing. I want something real.
That's all they did was shake their ass.
This is about human rights.
Yeah.
This is about human rights.
I'm facing the biggest crossroads of my life. But to take out the cages and sacrifice what I believe in would be like never being there at all.
This is why Ben split.
Yeah. I thought it was her movie.
No, it's this.
It's
She's worried about kids in cages and shaking her coolie.
Yeah.
Those are two things. And that's the way you get the message across. You shake your ass. Didn't you always think about kids, migrant
the
kids
whole
in
time.
cages? The
There
whole
were-
time, right?
There were kids with hula hoops. So
Those
that
were
was
the
sort of
part
a
of the
metaphor,
cage, yeah.
you know, for freeing the children,
Metaphorical cage.
letting them hula hoop.
Yeah, so they're in cages, and now they're going to have a cage fight. I can't see. Here's what I could see. Here's what I would want to see.
Yeah.
I don't want trained migrant guys going against trained American guys in the octagon. I want the guys, the migrant guys who get caught raping and killing people, the ones that show up on Fox News, to just go into the cage with Brock Lesnar and he just fucking goes nuts on them and we can all stand and cheer. And by the way, they don't have to, but if they choose that route, no jail time.
You're right.
They may not leave the cage alive.
Well, I mean, what if they like last the whole time? Maybe we can hand out a green card for this if you survive.
If you survive, I will make you a citizen and I will get you a job
Swear
on a
you in, have a
construction
Bible
site.
cage side,
That's
and just
right.
swear you right in.
I've been watching a lot of Game of Thrones, which I know I'm late on, but it's like trial by combat.
There you go.
Everything they resolve with sword fighting.
Yep, UFC senior, they say. All right, so that's good.
Yeah,
Got that to look forward
Trump,
to.
Dana White said Trump's remarks were a joke. He said that Dana, I have an idea. Why don't you set up a migrant league of fighters and have your regular league of fighters and then have the champion of your league. These are the greatest fighters in the world. Fight the champion of the migrants. I think the migrant guy might win. That's how tough they are. He didn't like that idea too much. Dana White says that was a joke.
Well, Trump jokes all the time.
I know.
And they don't know he jokes. Or I think they know he jokes, but they just kind of.
I mean, when you read it literally, when you read this literally, then it sounds very. But
well, you got one guy. So one candidate jokes all the time, which is Trump, but they take him literally every time he says he's going to be dictator or whatever he says. Yeah. And then you got Biden, who every time he's lying goes, no joke. No joke. When he says, I've been on 7 million miles on Amtrak. No joke. No joke. When he goes, no joke, then
it means he's lying.
It means he's lying. And then the other guy jokes but doesn't say he's joking. And then they don't think he's joking. So we got a little joke division going on here.
That's hilarious.
The next report that we got is NYC holds a Fat Beach Day to create accepting environment for plus-size community. Fat Beach Day events are springing up across the U.S. in an effort to fight back against fat phobia, reclaim safe spaces for the community, and honor plus-size culture.
Hold on. The fat phobia, is that a thing? I mean,
don't think it's a real thing anymore.
I don't know. I have a little bit of fat phobia myself, I feel like I'm a little nervous around plus-size models.
Well, then you're identifying as, isn't that offensive to the plus-size community you're identifying?
Let them be offended.
Person.
Let them be offended.
Well, okay. There are definitely way more fat people than there ever was, right?
Yeah.
So, like, when people talk about, it's like fat phobia or homophobic. How can you be homophobic? What does phobic mean? Well,
you're
phobic
scared of fat people? It's a fear.
You're fearful of gay people, or gay people, or fat gay people, who are the best. The best laughers.
Yeah, they are the best.
So, first off, there's no phobia. I don't know anyone who's scared. I know people that are annoyed by gay people constantly, and fat people, they don't want to fuck them, but they're not fearful of them.
I thought that's what
you're
meant.
talking about.
Yeah. My bad.
Also, the last I checked, fat people aren't scared to take their shirt off at the beach.
No, they're all being fat all the time.
Can I tell you, I had the misfortune of staying at Harrah's in Vegas.
Oh, it's going to be a lot of fat people there.
Harrah's is way down the totem pole over there.
Yeah.
And I was staying at Harrah's. And Harrah's, for reasons that are unclear to me, put their gym on the second floor,
overlooking
the swimming pool, with the treadmills facing the swimming pool. So if you're on that treadmill for a half hour, it's a tub of lard show going on there. It's a fucking cannonball competition. Inadvertent, they don't mean it. Every time they get in, the water spills out over there. You see some of the scariest, fattest people who you'd never think would get in a bathing suit and even go anywhere in public. You sit on that treadmill for 30 minutes, you will see 50 fat people just blobbing around that swimming pool, drinking, pina coladas and God knows what. No shame. It was not Fat Person Day.
Right.
This is called Thursday at Harrah's. The last time I was there, 2 weeks ago, and I just sat on that treadmill, and I thought, am I a witness to this? Because they're saying to me, you get off that treadmill, you're going to end up with them.
I think so, yeah.
Motivation.
Is it a motivation? Is it like a scared straight kind of thing?
I think they're trying to do the opposite. They're trying to be like, oh, look at all these people who you want to look hot for. But then it's doing the opposite.
Look at these sexy beasts
look
that you want to
get
buff
hot
for.
Bikini models, but that's not what's happening.
I don't think we need a fat person day at the beach is all I'm saying.
You're getting one, bud. The event organized by Jordan Underwood sought to create an environment where people could feel comfortable and accepted regardless of their size. We're going through something culturally that is impacting us every day on an individual level and a systemic level, Underwood explained to The Guardian. We're really trying to open up a space.
What date is this? When is this?
It's coming up, bud. Mark your calendar.
it's every day for Chris Christie, right? He's fucking taking over the beach. Remember he shut down the beach during COVID, and then him and his family finally a place we can eat ice cream judgment free. Fat ass.
Yeah, so similar events are being held across the United States to provide safe spaces for the plus-size community to come together and celebrate their
So are
bodies.
skinny people not allowed on those days?
I guess not. A Fat Friends pool party is scheduled in Chicago in July, and a Bellies Out Beach Day will soon take place in Los Angeles in a few weeks. A few weeks, bud, so mark your calendar.
All right. Being fat is... Okay. Okay,
Careful.
can we just... All right, let's figure this out. Smoking is bad for you, and we've waged a war on smoking. And if you don't believe me, then watch the movie St. Elmo's Fire, as I did the other night. St. Elmo's Fire, you have no goddamn idea how much smoking there is. Oh. There's an opening scene in St. Elmo's Fire where someone goes to the hospital and they're all smoking in the hospital.
Oh my
and no
God.
one is saying anything to them. They all walk in, they're smoking in the hospital. They're smoking at St. Elmo's. They're smoking in their apartments. They're smoking in cars. They are literally everywhere they go, there's a cigarette hanging out of everyone's mouth. First off, they all smoke. Everyone in the cast smoke except for Judd Nelson. He's the only one who... Oh, Ali Sheedy and Judd Nelson don't smoke. The rest of the cast smokes.
Are they alive now or no?
I think they're just like powdered cigarettes for the movie.
It's fake.
You can find it, Joe, in the hospital. They're in there. Just Rob Lowe, who got into a car accident trying to light a cigarette, probably, is in there, and they're visiting their friend, and Rob gets a DUI and whatever it is, but they're just lighting up, so they just smoked everywhere. Right. Okay. But we determined that cigarette smoking was bad for you, so we launched a campaign against cigarette smoking, and now A-list celebrities, if they want to smoke, and there's a lot of like closeted A-list, there's closeted smokers.
Yeah.
You see them, you'll see pictures of them on TMZ. They go outside the club and they crouch behind a dumpster in the alley with the fucking rats and the cockroaches. Right. And they try to cop a couple of puffs, crouch down next to a dumpster in an alley.
It's not glamorous.
Not glamorous. They used to light a cigarette and hand it to everyone in the club. No, you got to hide. You want to smoke now, you got to hide. And smoke. All right, so we sufficiently shamed smokers to the point where they're not even going to do it. But the worst thing you can do is be fat for your health. It's the worst thing you could have been. During COVID, the worst thing you could have been is fat.
Yeah.
Can we discuss it, or are we just going to open up a fat beach and a fat day and a fat pool day, and then they're just going to get fatter, and then they're going to get diabetes, and their joints are going to give out, and we're going to have to fucking pay for all these undisciplined fat asses. Why don't we wage a war against it for those people? Not for me, for them.
You got my vote.
Thank you.
I mean, I feel like society is pulling two ways, where you got the Instagram buff people, super buff, and then you got the other side that's going, stay fat and, be proud of it.
Listen, here's the whole deal. You cannot convince people to love themselves. Just fucking do things that would be considered accomplishments, and then you can have some pride in that. Don't just love yourself for the sake of loving yourself.
But also, being fat isn't just about the visual. It's like it's a health problem, like what you're saying. So it's like you can like how you look, but you shouldn't like how you look.
But they don't like how they look.
If it's dangerous to your health.
But there's a bigger conversation, too, because it's like a systemic thing where all our food has corn in it, sugar in it, so that people, and it's an addictive thing, like people are naturally drawn to what makes them feel good, and so they get stuck on drive-through food, our car culture where you have to drive everywhere, you can't walk anywhere, because walking is the biggest thing to make you lose weight, really. Every time guys ask me, like, if they're like obese, I go, dude, start walking.
They should have a pro-fat walk.
Oh man! All right, so now you're getting meta with us right now. Yeah.
All right.
Next story is kind of a bum out. Pirates of the Caribbean star killed in a shark attack.
Yeah, I heard about this.
Yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean actor Tamayo Perry has died after being attacked by a shark while surfing off the island of Oahu in Hawaii on Sunday. Perry is a surfing legend known for appearing in the 4th Pirates of the Caribbean movie. According to Stab Magazine, TP's arm and leg were missing when local surfers recovered his body.
We don't know he had him going into the water, though.
No.
We don't know he had that arm and that leg.
Shark apologist here?
I'm just saying, I need a... Well,
this photo doesn't look like he has one of those arms.
You're right.
I can't see his right arm. Look, okay, we all got to go, right?
If you're a surfer, that's the way.
That's the way to go.
Okay. Yeah,
no, the way to go... Sorry. This is the second best way to go. The first best way to go is Patrick Swayze in Point Break. When he's just on the beach with Keanu Reeves and there had 100-year storm blowing in off the coast of Australia and he just paddled
goosebumps right
he just
now.
paddled out to his death, right?
That's badass.
That's the way you go as a surfer. You rob a couple banks, you do a little skydiving, then you go to Australia to find the perfect wave and you just paddle, literally just paddle to your death. But being attacked by a shark, that's the second. But so here's the deal. We've all got to go. If you're a surfer, shark's the way to go. Yeah. I think. Yeah?
Really? It sounds painful, though.
I mean, for a moment. Ugh. But then you're done.
Then you're done. You're mostly confused.
You're not like sitting in a hospital bed for, you know what I mean?
But you probably drown and get eaten.
I doubt it. You probably bleed out.
You bleed out.
Yeah, you bleed out first. And then you just slowly go off into the night.
Sounds awful.
Yeah.
You're showcasing the gender gap here. Me and him think that it's awesome.
Do not want to be eaten by a shark.
No, but if you got to go... Oh, we have the Point Break scene at the end. This is the way to go.
Yeah, this is hot.
Bodie's out there. It's a rainstorm.
Yeah. He's like, I'm going
Keanu's
out.
going to let him get his stick and hit the ocean. Man. He's going out. He's just paddling to his death.
What do you think you're doing? You let him go!
And by the way, you let him go. He literally... going in a 40-foot swell. By the way, where do they think he's...
This coming out of this lady with her haktua?
Oh, man. This is out of Idiocracy.
Man, welcome.
The interesting thing is, like when people go, I'm going to make a video and I want it to go viral, but how can you ever...
No.
You don't know because...
She's like some rando chicks drinking at some street fair or something, makes a stupid joke,
It's called authenticity.
Yeah, I know, but what is... in the alchemy of human beings that makes something like what I'm saying is a pop song, a really good pop song. But why? Like anyone who knows good musicians and good acts and good whatever, like if you go into the deep cuts, like you go, well, I like the Jayhawks and I like John Hyatt, and you like people that are actually talented and good. You go, well, they have hundreds of songs and they're so good, but not a hit. There's no hits. And then there's Paula Abdul. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's such a shit song, but yet it captured something or it did something.
I'll tell you my theory on it is that the intersection of not quite too edgy, but just edgy enough, right? Mm-hmm. And not slanted one way or another. So you capture that Venn diagram of people who like sexual innuendo, okay, and people who like pretty girls talking dirty, and then you capture this center mass of general people where it's safe enough, where it's not offending everybody, but it's not, but it titillates you just a bit.
Well, no, I get it, and what you're trying to do is like you're trying to explain guacamole to someone who's never eaten guacamole before, and then, but it's deeper than that. You know what I mean? Because let's just say the Haktui girl came along, but let's say it happened the night of the Trump-Biden debate where Biden had a stroke and fell off the stage. Then we wouldn't have heard of it.
Well, no.
Right? There has to be
an internet. I'm sure this happened like a couple months ago or like a couple weeks ago at least, and then it kind of gained steam in a certain pocket, it kind of one of those things born from 4chan. Somebody like
last week is when it came out.
There you go.
Well, what I'm saying, there needs to be, the stars need to align in a certain way. There cannot be.
It needs to catch a wave.
It needs to. Yeah, like Swayze.
Yeah. Yeah, so an internet wave.
There needs to be that. But my point is you can't fully explain it, just like you can't fully explain the Macarena or some other shit song that everyone hears. You know what I mean? And whether you want to hear it or not, you're going to hear it. I saw 3 days of Hawk Tuohy Girl, and I had no idea what it was. And I was okay. I had made my peace with going to the grave and not knowing who the Hawk Tuohy Girl was, but somebody explained it to me. You know what I mean? I couldn't. Someone had to stop and say, it was much like Two Girls in a Cup for me.
Oh, yeah.
I just went,
I never watched that.
I don't want to see this. But you know what? It had to be seen because I couldn't avoid seeing it.
Yeah.
It was.
That's a depressing thing right now about what does go viral. Is it's forced on you. Like you don't go on your phone looking for that.
I know.
Even if you're a conscientious objector, it's still going to find you somewhere, right? So the Hawk Tuohy Girl found it. Now, to me, it never really feels like enough to go viral. Like, they go those things where they go, there's a 9-year-old kid who has 300 billion views of him opening toys, and you go,
right.
Well, what's so fascinating about this kid and what's so smart? And this one chick has 200 million downloads and all she's doing is trying on a sundress or something. And you go, well, what's so, and then you watch it and you go, there's nothing here, which is weird, right? So Hawk Tuohy is okay, but not enough to go viral. But in a world where we need a pop hit, and it's not going to be the best song, but it is going to be the song we all agree is the pop hit of this time, then that's the Hawk Tuohy Girl. Right? Her friend was the hot one in the mix. If you watch closely as I did,
I didn't notice either of them.
In a hot chick dynamic, when there's one that's slightly less hot, she will be more personality driven. So the Hawk Tuohy came out of that.
Oh, so if you're a little less hot, you gotta.
Make up for it with some.
Well, let's watch it again. I think her friend was kind of hot.
Oh, the one next to her.
One move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time.
Oh, you gotta give him that Hawk Tuohy instead of.
Yeah. But you have to admit that she has some type of riz that's next level. Like, there's some je ne sais quoi in there.
I know. All you cage fighters with your je ne sais quoi. It's all I hear. Every press conference, every post-fight interview.
They say je ne sais quoi a lot?
Yeah, look at my opponent. Well, he's skilled in the stand-up. He has a certain je ne sais quoi to a ground game. But I was able to defeat him. Someone got a Hawk Tuohy tattoo already.
What?
Yep, that's accurate. There's even celebration by Bryce Harper.
That's disgusting.
Who pulled the move after? Oh, wow. Yeah, spit on that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, it's interesting what draws, all the eyeballs out of nowhere on a sleepy week in June. But then it's over
just as quickly as it came.
Yeah, and then it moves on to the next Gundam style.
The next really trashy thing.
Yeah, we have to have those. Now, here's a question. In other societies, do they have as much of that as this? Like in Middle Eastern societies, you know what I mean?
I think they have other things to worry about.
They have other things.
Yeah.
They have problems like clean water.
But things go viral. I mean, anywhere you have the internet, you have this community that's jabbering on about whatever. And since we don't have any real problems yet, we have plenty of real. Well, what I mean is on the internet.
Right. But, okay, so you have cultures like, European cultures and Japan and stuff. Okay, I think you need a culture that has a sense of humor to have as many of these things go, right?
That could be because they think that's funny.
Well, who are the cultural, when you kind of go like, who's kind of laying out the culture here in the United States? And you go, Dave Chappelle and LeBron James. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Oprah. You know what I mean?
Comedy and sports.
We're not the philosophers, not the politicians, not the serious people, but it's the culture that's laying out. So it's like you need a society that has sort of dominated by a comedic culture, you know? So I think the more that you're going to have, and now I don't know who's past the United States on that. Parts of Canada, like I don't know, not the Middle East, not Germany, not Poland. You know what I mean? Maybe there's some in France. You know, but I think to have the most generated kind of viral moments, you need a society that's kind of humor based, and because this is humor based.
That's true.
This is everyone with a little bit of fucking around with everyone else, right?
Yeah. Well, I guess when homemade videos, remember when those were big? That was just people kind of being dumb, and that was an early equivalent of this.
Yeah.
Right.
Of just dumb people like people being stupid.
Yeah.
They think it's funny.
Yeah.
Whereas in other societies, they don't want to look stupid.
Yeah, they have dignity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have self-respect.
Well, they're like 100 years ago in this culture, when we took pictures, people had a serious face. Because they would go, we are taking a photograph and we need to be serious.
Yeah.
And there was no
And
fucking
they only
around.
get one. They get one, so they can't make a funny face.
Yeah, there was no screwing around. Everyone was like super straight and super serious in pictures because it was like, hey, you're a serious person. Now look serious.
And it took like 3 minutes to develop, so they had to stick with a face that they could keep.
But now everyone's just doing something nuts with their face in
That's
the picture.
the driver.
Yeah,
That's
big,
the driver
big
of
smiles
engagement.
are
You know?
funny.
Right.
Well, also, it's harder and harder to get attention, so maybe everything has to be bigger and bigger now. So that's a big choice that she made. So it's like, ooh.
I think that she just did that straight from the heart, kind of, you know,
Felt
in a weird
genuine
way.
to me.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah.
felt
No, I don't think she
genuine.
was trying to go viral or anything.
No.
I think she really believed in what she was saying.
She's just being silly, and now she's selling merch.
What?
Yeah, her name.
God.
Her name is Haley Welsh. She's from Nashville, and you know she just let this loose, and now she's selling merch, and you know she's a top Google search for weeks. The Haktua girl, and
Wow, this is gonna go south.
she's trending on.
This
X.
is why I miss Playboy, because when Playboy was around, Playboy would have offered her 50 grand. Because that's how Playboy would do it. If somebody caught fire for a moment, they'd go, "Oh, we'll give you." Playboy would just offer you a lump of cash to do.
So now you're suggesting that she'll start a OnlyFans
She
just
probably
show her
already has
Haktua.
one. She has one, I bet.
No, you know
No?
what? Because that seemed genuine. The reason that went viral is because that seemed like a
But
normal.
you don't think she seems like someone who would already have some kind of OnlyFans?
I mean,
No, the guys are all like, no, I haven't ever been on it. You looked for it?
Oh wow,
They
they
looked
already
for
did
it?
the research. Yep.
Yeah. Well, I heard she was a school teacher.
Oh no!
Wow.
Did you hear about that?
No, but that's got to be awful. Then her kids are going to be, I guess, or they're thinking she's really cool.
Oh, she got fired? I
Mrs.
heard she
Haktui?
wasn't getting fired from her Mrs. Haktui.
She could.
That's so funny.
She's not. Oh
Who do you
wow.
have for social studies?
Mrs. Haktui.
Oh, I got Mrs. Parker. Mrs. Haktui's so much better than Mrs. Parker.
Yeah, I wish I'm so jealous you have Mrs. Haktui for homeroom.
I'm going to ask my counselor if I can transfer to Miss Haktui.
But isn't that discrimination to fire her?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't think she should be. She should sue if she got fired.
Well, the only thing I can think of is when they go, you become a distraction.
Oh.
Code of conduct.
Yeah, like them calling her Mrs. Haktui.
Man.
Yeah, she would be Miss Haktui. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Did she really got fired though, huh, Joe? Because I heard she was a teacher, and then.
Oh, that's too bad.
All right.
Well, she's on to bigger things.
Bigger, better.
Bigger.
All right, and
my
now it says
God.
might not, so maybe she wasn't fired.
Maybe.
I heard she was a teacher. I heard she might get fired or something, but I heard they couldn't because You can't fire people willy-nilly. It's not like she refused to be vaccinated or something really important like that. This is just a Hawk Tuohy incident.
It's a minor Hawk Tuohy incident.
Yeah, so we're having conflicting reports, so we'll have to get back to you on that. But let's give some plugs. Erica Rhodes, everyone's got shows coming up, Peoria and Minneapolis, and all the dates. You got Erica. I need it, you must leave me. Yeah, white guys complain about chicks dumping on them. The biggest puss span is Brad. Brad is should just be called cuckold. Like they just whine about reading diaries underneath trees and having rooms, and he's like singing to the woman like, you can leave and get with another guy, but I'll still have your room open for you if you ever want to come back. See, that's one thing the black man has mastered. They sing about what they're going to do to the chick sexually. You know what I mean? They're going to rub them down. They're going to oil them down, and they're going to get busy on them. But they don't sing about being friends and getting to know you and not wanting to push on you or get in your space. It was 60s. We have the pedophile rock, Dawson. We got to put together wuss rock.
Yeah.
I'd like to get to know you. Yes, I would. Well, I'd like to get to know you. Just sing about, baby, be friends with you. There's a 60s. It's like 68 to 71. There were just a bunch of wuss rock.
Something tells me I'm into something good.
Well, I will say Herman's Hermits, he's holding their hand and shit. But that's a little earlier. And they had to say, I'm holding your hand and I'm walking you home and stuff, because they couldn't say I'm balls deep on a futon. They couldn't do it. Later on, we redeemed ourselves with the song Chevy Van. Come up, take me by the hand. We made love in my Chevy van, and that's all right with me. That's a story about a guy cruising into town in a custom van, picking up a hot underage chick barefoot, takes her out to the river, basically bangs her by the river, and bangs her in his Chevy van, and then just drives her back into town and just releases her. I mean, it's a story about abduction and rape more than is anything, but that's the early 70s. But we had that span of getting to know you. Blame Sonny and Cher. Every one of their songs was, I want to be friends. I want to get to know you. I want to hang out. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. It's like late 60s white wuss rock is essentially what that is.
So men have turned to women in the past.
Oh, yeah. There was a 60s, I'm going to put some beads on, and I just want to hold hands. And now, look. Dudes figured out, it was like Occupy Wall Street. The women were there because they hated what Wall Street was doing to the American people. The dudes were there to try to bang those chicks, but they had to pretend like they were down with the cause.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Always happens. Yeah.
And so there was a period where dudes realized that wearing the Letterman jacket and being the captain of the football team was just scaring the bitches. Like, you're too big and scary. What if we went wafy, kind of dressed like you dress?
Exactly.
And we put on, we go full flower power, and we'll put on a lot of beads and shit, and then we'll go to the Monterey Pop Festival with you. We'll go to Woodstock and whatever. We're still trying to bang you.
Yeah.
But we're trying to blend and bang. We're blending in.
It's camouflage. Like you dress yourself up as a lesbian to get laid.
Well, look, yes. You look at Sonny Bono. Sonny Bono was a beatnik hippie in the 60s, and then later on he's the congressman from Palm Springs, and he's wearing a 3-piece suit, and he's got a mustache. And he's
but usually he dressed like a figure skater.
He just dressed like whatever anyone wanted, so he could infiltrate. And when he's running for Congress, he dresses like that guy. And when he's trying to bang runaways, he dresses another way. That's all. He just, whatever it took. Whatever it took. Yeah. You understand?
I got it, yeah.
Okay.
An adaptable Sonny.
Yeah, you called adaptable. I personally don't like that quality in a man.
Yeah.
Myself, but okay. Oh, we have all 4 Expendables posters.
Oh. Yeah.
Still not there. What is the eagle?
Are you sure it was the Expendables and not that movie, The Losers?
No.
What?
No.
All right.
I made a mistake.
It's all right. We all
made
do.
a mistake. I need the poster from Con Air. Yes, Dawson. I need the Con Air.
Dawson knows you too well.
Well, the Expendables, look.
Yeah, touche.
A skull with a crow
You're right.
standing on top of the skull head.
It's in the same filing
It's not going to be bad.
Yeah,
it's not going to be bad.
Great logo.
It's good for our van.
It is.
It's good for the community.
I mean, look, the decal is going to look sweet.
It's bad for Antifa, but it's good for store owners in the neighborhood. You know what I mean? But it is now. Keep in mind, Con Air's like that's a hawk or an eagle or something. I don't think it's a crow.
No.
So we might have to modify. We can modify.
I mean, look, we got a graphic. We'll get AI on it.
Yes. Oh, sorry. It's on the What did I say?
Jailbird.
It's the poster. I think that we're looking for. But yes, I think it's on the poster. But yes, the jailbird. It's the eagle coming from the sky. Look, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to producers of both films.
All right.
And I'm just going to go, look, we need your logo, the law enforcement community behind me, and we're just going to sort of make a hybrid. We're going to sort of take ideas from this and put it onto that. Okay?
Just type that into ChatGPT. I think we can bypass a lot of these producers.
You may be right. All right, what's your story over there?
I got some news here. The Gen Z is turning to traditional trade jobs amid fears the AI will soon replace many white-collar careers, a new survey has uncovered.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna. But it's interesting. So we thought truck drivers were going to be out of work.
Nope.
And we thought, and they may. I mean, there may be self-driving trucks and fast food workers, but we forgot about plumbers and. Ooh, there it is.
Con Air.
Yeah, I got to see that bird in Con Air. So it's pretty much if you're a plumber or electrician or
that's
something,
what the guys
you're never going to be out of work.
Plumbing, welding, electrical work, including 37% of those with a bachelor's degree. So even people who are educated and can't find a job in their industry are turning to trade work.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I think a lot of people think the ultimate, they want comfort in their job, but purpose is more important. You got to have purpose. You have to have a feeling. There's something in life that a lot of people don't get to experience, and it's the most important part of life. And losers never experience it. It's beginning, middle, end, and then repeat. Beginning, middle, end. A lot of people that don't have a successful life, it's one big middle.
Yeah.
It's when I think back on, like, my mom didn't have a happy life. Her life was just one big middle. It didn't really have, you go, I'm going to write a cookbook. And you sit down, you start writing a cookbook, that's beginning. And then at some point, you're working on the cookbook and you're in the kitchen and you're experimenting, or you're taking a picture of lasagna, whatever it is. You're finding a publisher, you're self-publishing.
You're striving.
Right. And then at some point, the book comes out on this date, and you're going to be at the Barnes & Noble in Sherman Oaks, and you're going to signing these books, and people are physically handing you your book. That's the end. That's a beginning, middle, end. Then there's a version of that where you go, I'm going to put a carport at the end of the driveway. You know what I mean? And then you sit there and you start designing it and you look at pictures and you go, I like that one. And then you buy the lumber, and then at some point you pull your car into the carport. Beginning, middle, end. The people that have shit lives, it's one long middle.
Yeah.
There's never any of that. And the good part is the part where you write the book, or you make the carport. And if you do enough of that, it gets easy. But if you never do it, everything's impossible. You can't figure out a way to finish stuff and to do stuff and whatever. When you sit in a cubicle and you do data entry, it's one long middle.
I know.
Everything's just a middle. But when you run, when you do a job, like, electrician, plumber, like whatever that thing is, it's a beginning, middle, end. I mean, the guy came over here, he put a charger outside, electrician. I'm handy electrically, but I'm not good enough to pull 240 out to the outside of the house. Or you could probably kill myself. But
exactly.
This guy shows up at, 8 a.m, and somewhere around 5 o'clock, the thing's on the outside of the building, and he's going, plug it in, test it out. Plug it in, a little light comes on, and he's done.
He's
beginning, middle, end. He pulled up. That was the beginning. The whole day was the middle.
Like the natural way that a human gets dopamine, like, this task is complete.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you have to have that. And so when you work in the trades, you definitely have a day full of beginning, middle, end. Sometimes the middle lasts, 4 months because it's the length it takes you to build the garage or whatever it is. But you get the end, and then you get the satisfaction, and you get the experience, and then you apply that to everything. And then nothing's any big deal. And it's like, I talk to people all the time, when you talk to someone like Jimmy Kimmel, he's done so many beginning, middle, ends that when stuff comes around, it doesn't mean anything to him. Like, you just go, when we started the Feast of San Gennaro, he just went, we need a Feast of San Gennaro in Hollywood. And I was like, okay, how do you start a feast? He's like, I'll figure it out. Next thing you know, there's Tommy Lasorda, and they're auctioning off Shaq's shoe, and the money's going to the kids, and there's Ferris wheels and food everywhere, and the streets are blocked off, and it's like, yeah, just start a festival. 2,000 people show up.
Yeah.
It's or you never do. And I think too many people sitting in cubicles with no beginning, middle, end, their brain starts to rot away.
Yeah.
They get horrible, horrible ideas. They lose their ability to decipher things and to assess risk and so on and so forth. And then something like COVID comes down the pike and they get decimated. Not by COVID, but by the ideas. Their fucking brain is so weak and so easy to scramble that when a shit idea like COVID comes down, they don't know what to do. Now, they're just fucking double masking it alone in their car. And they're wiping down, produce before they bring it into their house because their brain is fucking rotted. So we need people to get back to this so we can have plumbers and electricians, but also so we can have people that can fucking think.
Yeah.
All right.
Another factor is the average cost of college in the United States has more than doubled over the past 24 years to $38,000.
Is that for 4 or per year?
Yeah.
4.
I guess per year. Yeah.
$38,000 a year?
Yes.
It's such a fucking waste. I don't even know. I didn't even know where to begin.
Well, it seemed like a whole marketing stunt that they perpetrated over 100 years where you have to have this piece of paper to prove that you're smart enough to work at our company.
Listen, they did this. They did it. I think they got the wives. They got the women. The women are the tone setters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I would sit around when my kids were like 15 or whatever, and all the moms would go, and you got to get the tutor, and they got to take the PSAT, and I'd go, yeah, I don't care. They could go learn, just get a fucking job, learn a skill, be happy, do something, and everyone's like, what are you talking about? You got to start putting money away for college. You got to have money for college. I got to go to college, and I'd go, or not, I don't care, or not. I don't care. You're talking to the wrong guy.
Yeah.
You're talking to a millionaire who's never been to college. So I figured it out. You can fucking figure it out. All the guys I know that are successful dropped out of college, pretty much. I mean, except for Dr. Drew. He needed his whatever. All the other people, they pecked away a little, and then they got bored, and then they went and did something else.
Yeah, I wager that most jobs out there that require a college degree would more you could do it like hands-on training and learn it in a year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you just most people if you're smart enough,
if you
can do
focus on a trade. Now, you can't be like a journeyman carpenter in a year because there's too many facets of it. But if you just want to be an electrician and you just want to, or plumbing or HVAC or drywall or something, you just stick with one lane, you'll be good fast.
But I'm saying if you have an apprentice, after a year, this guy has a good set of skills. You know, even in mixed martial arts, I can coach a guy for a year and he has a well-rounded, he's not a master, but he has a well-rounded set of skills.
How often do you have to coach him?
I mean, daily, preferably. You know what I mean?
How
you get
long
the guy,
each day?
2 hours in the morning and afternoon, 2 hours at least.
Oh, 2 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah, at least so you get, maximum training camp, and your body can only do so much so hard. I prefer to have my guys really go for an hour and a half hard and then rest and then do another hour and a half
that afternoon.
Yeah, that way you have enough time to do active recovery and come back stronger. And it's a mental thing where I have to have this guy's head clear so he can pick up a new skill.
Are they doing cold plunges and saunas and all that stuff?
The smart ones. Yeah, the smart ones.
Where are they accessing all this stuff?
The Forge Boxing and Fitness out near downtown has an entire recovery unit inside the gym.
What's in there?
Cold plunge, barometric pressure, the UV light sauna, regular hot sauna. Like it's a full service gym, like where they understand that recovery is a huge part of performance, and so they make that ingrained in the training instead of having to go find some weird bathhouse to do that in.
That could lead to trouble. All right, what else you got?
All right, next up, Senate unanimously approves a $25,000 tax break for tip workers.
I have turned the corner and gone a different direction on this, and I think it's going to be wildly unpopular.
Yeah?
A lot of my opinions are wildly unpopular. But let's break it down. I think we all sit around and we go, yeah, these guys, these tips, leave them alone. Why? That tip's their money. Why not their money? You get a tip. Why should it be taxed? These people are working hard, bartending, servers, whatever. Let them keep their money. It's a tip. And I would sort of like, in that camp, I went along with it. I was like, yeah, all right. Some guy gives you money. That's your money. That's your government don't need to get their hands on that. But let's break it down. There's a thing that bothers me with tipping. And it's always bothered me in that when I was at the end of my carpentry career, I was making $15 an hour, just flat rate. And I drove a truck. I had tools. I had a lot of tools. Like, you got to have your own arsenal of tools, expensive tools. And, I would show up. I knew how to build cabinets. I knew how to build whatever it is. And I'd come in and I'd work. And I'd work 8 hours, and it's $120 a day. And then taxes would be taken out, And I had like 10 years of experience. And then my roommate worked as a bartender, like Tequila Creek or someplace. And he'd come back at the end of the night. He'd work like a 4-hour shift or a 5-hour shift. By the way, getting phone numbers, talking to chicks, making cocktails. He'd come back with $180 worth of cash, and I'd be like, you don't have a skill. Making pina coladas is not really a skill. I have a skill. I drive a truck. I'm busting my ass. I'm up at 6 a.m. and whatever. I'm reading blueprints.
Yeah.
And you're making more money than me. And you're coming back with phone numbers. I never came back off a job site with a phone number.
Yeah.
And I was always jealous. And also they had cash, And, then you get a little older and you go out with the boys, and you go to a nice steakhouse and you order some drinks and maybe a bottle of wine or something, and the thing comes to $600, $700, $800. I mean, I've been out with William Morris guys at sushi places and stuff with the company card and stuff. I've gone out and spent $2,000, and then you're working the tip out, you're like, okay, let's see, 10%, it's 200. 400. Let's give her $500. It's always somebody at the table drunk, like it's because she's hot. 23-year-old hot chicks, but she's working 6 other tables too. We're not the only people in the restaurant. She's got other tables. You talk to chicks who've done bottle service and shit, they're walking out of there with thousands of dollars. I mean, on a good Saturday night, some NBA baller comes in, gets the bottle service. Fuck that. Tax the shit out of it. Why the fuck? I'm fucking on a roof all day. I'm fucking on a roof getting $15 an hour from the government. Everyone's like, tax the shit out of that, bro. Tax him up good. What have I just said? Hey, man, I'm working hard. I don't want to be taxed. People be like, fuck you. You're getting taxed. So 23-year-old hot chick who's walking out with big handfuls of fucking cash over doing nothing all fucking night in air conditioning. And by the way, you work in a field where, what the fuck? The bottle service. All right, it's $1,000 for a bottle of what? Vodka?
Yeah.
You're getting tipped based on just bringing a bottle out? And also, what's the difference? There's jobs where nobody tips. You work behind the grill at a McDonald's. I work behind the grill. I never got a fucking tip. So you just some hot chick who walks around, drops off drinks, or there's a bottle of wine, and the bottle of wine's $300. You're just getting tipped on that versus a bottle of wine that's $18 or $31. Same bottle, same cork, same thing, same whatever. Fuck you. Tax the shit out of them. Tax those tips.
Wildly unpopular
free
opinion.
fucking money. Why do you guys need more free money? And by the way, if you're in an industry where you're being tipped, you're either serving booze or sucking dick. You're not doing anything. You understand? You don't have a skill. We don't need you. You're just bringing people shit. You don't have a skill. I don't care. You're bringing people food. That's not a skill. You're making a drink, or you're giving a rub and tug, or whatever you're doing. It's not. You're in. If you're in a business that gets tips, you're probably hurting humanity. You are either bringing them booze or dealing blackjack.
Yeah.
You're doing something. There's some vice. There's some vice world. You're rub and tug. You're doing something. You don't tip the plumber who comes to your house. You don't tip the electrician that comes to your house. You don't tip the guy at the Home Depot who gets the rolling ladder and goes up a story and gets, measuring off anchor chain for you and cuts it and wraps it, puts the thing on it and hands it to you. No tip for him. There's no tip. There's no tip for cops or firemen. There's no tip for any. I did construction my entire life. I never got a fucking tip. But you bring me booze at an airport, we got to tip you out? A thing any 14-year-old could do. Any 14-year-old could do what 90% of tip jobs any 14-year-old could do. I mean it. What is a tip job? You don't tip surgeons. You don't tip skilled people. You don't tip your lawyer. I mean, like fucking billable hours that gouge the shit out of you. But you don't. Where's the tipping in our society? It's massage. Okay.
Uber Eats.
Yeah. Uber drivers. Delivery guys. People that either bring you booze or carbs or get you addicted to gambling or sex. It's all vice. It's all people being bad.
Yeah.
It's uneducated people with zero experience, no life skills. By the way, if you just said, look, tomorrow I got a magic wand. You go, we can get rid of, I can get rid of a group. Okay, who are we going to get rid of? Air traffic controllers. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Do not. Cops. Nope, don't do it. Firemen, nope. Loggers, nope, don't do that. Farmers, nope, don't. Surgeons, nope. People who get tips. Yeah, we probably get rid of I don't see like we would need that. Fucking 40-year-old dudes with ponytails and fucking high school education. Like, we don't need people to get tips.
Yeah.
And they can all be replaced the following day. Air traffic controller, surgeon, fireman cannot be replaced later that day. Tip people that day. All of them. You're worthless. We should be taxing you at a higher rate.
More tax on tips.
More tax on tips.
Yeah.
That's
the unpopular opinion.
Well, first
I'm
off,
with you.
let me tell you about the siren song of tipping.
Yeah.
You got some chick, right? She's 23. She's making more money than a fucking school teacher and a fireman combined working at a nice restaurant or a nice club, right?
Yeah.
But let's check in with her when she's 40. Time not been so good, been partying a little with some of the customers and so on and so forth. Now you get this poor person and they're in the worst position anyone can be in. Like a 40-year-old dude or a 50-year-old dude or 50-year-old dude. Zero skill. No skill. Your skill set is bringing plates from one place to another place. You bring plates and a glass. Your number one skill is probably, if I'm being honest, carrying a full martini through a restaurant and not spilling it. Don't you think?
Yeah.
That's your number one skill. And now you're old because you couldn't walk away from this shit. I've had these people where they go like, fuck, man, I used to make $400 a night bartending. Now I'm a fucking, dad wants me to go to CPA school or something like that. Like, I don't want to take half the money and sit somewhere all day. Yeah, but at some point you get old and you're still a fucking bartender. I was in Hawaii, had the families and the friends and the friends and the families and the whatever. It was like my turn to pay. And there's a guy, just 45-year-old dude, just waiter, and he was serving our table, whatever. And I was like, all right, give him the bill was $800 or $500-700, but it was expensive. Bunch of people, drinks and stuff like that. I was like, give the guy $200 or something. Everyone's like, give him $250. Never complain. I was like, who cares? And it's like, well, this is how he makes it. Yeah, he's 45. He has no plan. He's never left this thing because he gets tipped so well and these guys. Why the fuck should a bartender or waitress at a nice restaurant make much more than a school teacher, a cop, or a fireman? The school teacher gets taxed and tipped. I mean, not tipped, but taxed, right? No tip, tax. Fireman, no one says, let's not tax cops. Let's not tax firemen. Let's not tax school teachers. All we do is complain, school teachers don't get paid enough. First off, they never fucking work. School teachers never work. They have 3.5 months off during the summer. They take every fucking holiday, every Martin Luther King, Arbor Day, whatever. It's all off. Every third Monday is a free day where they study at home or whatever. But fuck, school teachers never work. They don't work half the year. Okay. But the complaint is they don't get paid. Okay, well, if I had a job where I didn't work for the entire summer, okay. Well, why don't we do a thing where we go, let's not tax school teachers. Let's incentivize people to go. And with this talk that we do all the time where these people don't get paid enough. They don't have enough money to live in the neighborhood they work in. The cops, the firemen, they don't make enough money to live in the neighborhood they serve. Good. Don't tax them. But let's tax the shit out of the people that are just bringing people booze. All you do is bring people booze. That's all you do. And carbs. Okay. All right. I'll thin it out more.
All right.
If you're low end tip gig like Uber Eats or something, you're dropping pizzas off and stuff, fine. We won't tax it. Also, but I don't want to incentivize. Why are we attracting people to a skillless, endless dead-end job where you just bring people booze and carbs. Any parent ever look at their young son and go, I hope one day he's a bartender, or he brings people food, or he deals pinochle? Is that a wish? Is that a goal? No. Why is that incentive? What we're attracting. Now you go, fuck, bartender at a decent steakhouse not being taxed on tips, you're going to make twice as much as a school teacher. So fuck it.
Yeah.
Why train? Why
we have a cutout for the Benihana chef?
Yeah. Okay. You're right. Look, here the cutout is if at some point during the course of your job you take a spatula and flip a shrimp tail into your hat.
Yeah.
We're not taxing.
I mean,
we're not taxing that. You're fucking.
That's a skill.
That's
Argue
a
all
skill.
you want.
That is a skill. Yeah, that guy could have been a surgeon. Probably, I'd let him operate on me, honestly. Yeah, Benihana, cut out for Benihana. Good point. All the rest, no. But we're not going to tax tips. We will tax tips, but we're not going to tax school teachers. So come on down.
What if plumbers start low bidding their jobs, but letting you know you have to tip me? Like it's a $500 job. I'm going to charge you $100, but you have to give me a $400 tip, so I don't get taxed on it.
Oh, all right. Yeah. I think they're going to limit it to service industry stuff, but I would be.